What is up, guys? Welcome to Jay's Racing. My name's Jason. It's been a long time since I last posted anything on this channel, and so I'm just going to do a very quick update on what has been happening. So in the past couple of weeks, I've actually been traveling over in the United Kingdom. I was actually born there, so sort of returning home. I don't sound like I'm from the UK, but I'm actually from the UK. But anyway, so yeah, I spent 2 weeks over there. I even went to Belgium, had a lot of fun. Here are some of the pictures and stuff. Yeah, so I had a lot of fun just traveling, winding down, and just having a big rest. So yeah, really nothing much related to what I do, really. But I did buy a lot of parts from the UK to actually test over here. So in the coming weeks, I'm gonna be putting those things together just to see how well it works and see if I can actually push the limits of my builds again. And the ultimate goal, obviously, is to build more powerful engines that are actually also can be mass produced, because we want more people to be able to have fun with these engines, because over here engine building is really not a thing. It's not a lot of people play with four-stroke engines, and yeah, it's really poorly understood, actually. So one big thing that I mentioned in my previous video is that there was a race that was like organized by this chassis builder. They actually built their own engine as well, and they had like 14 teams joining. They had their own modified four-stroke engine, and 11 of them broke down and they were not able to finish the race. Yeah, it was so bad that it blew up the entire sort of karting circle, and everyone's like, oh, the engine block is really bad, because the one that they used was 225 by this particular brand, and it was exactly the same one that we used. So yeah, everyone's like saying that block is really bad, don't use it, blah blah blah. But that's the extent as to what they understood from the engine. But from all the pictures that we saw, there were too many problems to do with like their engine building. I mean, like the carburetor was probably the wrong size. The exhaust was really bad. They didn't even remove the RPM limiter, so I don't know how they managed to do that. And yeah, there were so many problems with the engine. And the biggest problem that they had with the race was that they did not have a mandatory engine oil change procedure, because it's an endurance race. So they did not ask the teams to have an engine oil change like every couple of hours. I think it was like a 12-hour race, and yeah, it ended up being really bad. The worst part was also that they didn't even understand themselves that the engine oil had to be changed. So apparently, from some of the teams that were talking about what happened during the race, I think like from Wednesday practice all the way to Sunday, they were using like the same tank of oil. So that's really bad. So yeah, I mean, over here, engine building or understanding of four-stroke engine is just really poor. So yeah, it's really bad. But the worst thing that came out of that particular incident was that it affected us. So there were, I mean, I mentioned that we had like this couple of orders, like I think it totaled about 90 engines or 70-some engines, something like that. All of them sort of like last minute canceled on me. Well, not really canceled, but like they were like iffy, and they didn't understand if the same thing's going to happen. So I was dealing with the aftermath of that, which was pretty disheartening, because again, they don't understand it. So that's pretty bad. So what I'm working on right now is just keeping the biggest order, which is the 50 engines from this race that I'm working with. And yeah, so for the last couple of weeks, I've just been doing a lot of talking, negotiation, all that stuff, reorganizing my workshop. I sort of organized the parts over there. It looks a lot tidier now. And building 3 test engines for this particular race. So what's going to happen is, for the Saturday, it's going to be all sprint races, and then on the Sunday, it's going to be an 8-hour endurance race. It's a really long endurance race, and their first race, they're going to use the GX270 as their engine of choice. Now, a lot of people are quite sick of the Honda GX engines, because it's just being used, just overused. I mean, all the races use their GXs, and they're slow and they're not fun to drive. The GH270 is a bit more powerful, but it's very, very heavy. It's about double the weight of the GH200, and it's not that much more powerful. When you're putting those engines on a competition kart, the weight distribution is all screwed up. So from what I gathered, the application for this race is not going that well either. But anyway, so these guys are sort of like our strategic partners, so I'm going to do everything to try to support them. I mean, I designed their logo, I designed their key visual, all that stuff. I mean, it's not the best design in the world, but you know, it will suffice. So I designed their livery, and I also designed the livery for the engines as well. So I'm going to show you guys in a later video just on those engines, because I'm going to talk a bit more about those engines as well. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been working on, just working on the race, the engines, try to salvage all the deals, and yeah, it's going to be a long process. Oh, an additional note to that race. It's going to be happening next weekend. Today is like the 12th of August. It's going to be happening on the 21st of August, something like that. And the 3 engines that I prepared will be used for a showcase purpose. So during practice days, all drivers joining that race will be able to try out our engines as well. So the organizers are like, okay, we will confirm the order for those engines based on the feedback from the drivers. If they like the engine, we will buy it. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit risky, but anyway, that's the best we can do so far, and hopefully everybody will like the engines. Anyway, so that's it for this update. It's a bit long, but yeah, just to tell you guys what I've been working on, and yeah, that's it for this video, and I'll be talking a lot more about those engines and everything else in a separate video. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.